Hello, I'm Judith Hendin, and I'm here to share with you something of profound importance. We all think of ourselves as one single human being, but we are actually made up of many different parts, and these parts have a tremendous impact on our life every moment of the day, on our health, and on ways that we can work through major issues in our lives. These selves develop in us when we are very young. We get messages from the world around us about how people want us to be. Perhaps they like when we're very sweet and pleasant. Grandmother pinching the baby on the cheek saying, "Oh, isn't that a sweet little baby?" when the baby smiles. And even as a baby, that child is getting the message that people like it better when it is nice. That baby gets messages also if it's crying in the middle of the night, and it can feel that people are upset with it. They don't like it so much when this baby is not nice, when this baby is expressing its anger or its dissatisfaction, yelling and screaming. And with incidents like this that happen throughout a child's life, selves begin to develop. Something in the psyche begins to divide up and say, people like us better when we're nice, so let's be nice. People don't like us better, don't like us as well when we're not nice, so we're gonna not be that way so much anymore. And we take that part of ourselves and put it inside. It's like the window here behind us. The selves that we see clearly in ourselves and we let others see are like the window here where you can see through clearly. Others are buried inside. We can't see them very much at all, like the top section here, or even we can't see them at all. They are completely buried. How do we know about these buried parts of ourselves? One way is when we find ourselves judging other people. The people that we judge are carrying the parts of us that we have buried. And actually those people become teachers for us because they show us what it is in us that we need to find and resurrect so that we can become more whole. That is our aim. We want to be able to hold both sides in ourselves. In this example, the part of us that can be very sweet and pleasant to people, and the part that can stand up and say what we need to say when we need to say it. When we have access to both of these parts of ourselves, we have choice. These selves are created in us, as I said, through our families and our personal experiences, and also through our cultures. Every culture, every country has certain selves that are welcomed and certain selves that we have to bury. And so when you're looking at your own selves, you want to also look at what are these main selves in your culture that you carry? What are the selves in you that are hidden? Now, I said that one of the ways that we find our buried selves, our hidden selves, is through people that we judge. Another way is through our bodies. Their bodies are designed to help us become more conscious. The way this works is that when one of those hidden selves is trying to come up and saying, it's time to get this back in your life, you will often get a physical symptom. It can be anything from a headache or a skin problem to a life-threatening illness like cancer. Our minds try to figure out logically when we're sick what self is calling. Well, I've been doing this work for 25 years, and I used to try to figure out logically with my clients what self was trying to come through. We would sit together, we would figure it out, and it sounded absolutely right. And then we would go in and do a process which has developed in my practice called conscious body, where we find the self that is hidden, the self that is calling, the self behind the symptom. When we do that work, we 99% of the time find something completely different from what we expected rationally. It's a surprise, and when that hidden self comes through, the client goes, yes, that's it. I can feel that that's right. And we have confirmation when the client gets better. In 10 years of work with this, I've been doing it 25 years, but there was an analysis of 10 years of clients doing this work, and clients either got completely well or improved significantly 85% of the time. The way we find the hidden self is through going into the unconscious, and out of the unconscious come these hidden selves. So that's another very practical application of this work with inner selves. A third way of using this work is with trauma. Many of us, perhaps one could say most of us in the world, have experienced trauma, either in our families, in our neighborhoods, in schools, in churches, or as a cultural trauma. There's a lot of buried feeling that comes along with that. Working from the point of view of selves gives us a way of working with trauma that is empowering. First of all, we see that the trauma is carried by a self inside, by a part. The whole person is not the traumatized person. A part is carrying the trauma. And that part has feelings, emotions, anger, grief, shame, guilt, wishes, dreams that can be explored self by self, energy by energy, to work through issues of trauma. It's a creative way to work with this, and an empowering way. So we have this working with inner selves, and that technique is called voice dialogue. Working with inner selves that are coming through body symptoms, that work is called conscious body. And then applying it to trauma, that work is called trauma work. I welcome you to your own world of selves. Thank you.